All right, well, let's get rocking and rolling today. So I guess like my first question is like, who here meal preps? If you meal prep, drop me a one in the comments. If you don't, just leave it blank. Or do you ingredient prep? If you just ingredient prep, do too in the comments below. I'd like to know. Because today we are going to talk about mastering your meals and talk about some hacks that are going to make your meal planning feel a lot more effortless, right? So we're all busy women. We've got 101 things to do, and sometimes thinking about one more thing can just be a little daunting, right? But one of the biggest downfalls that I see with my clients regarding like compliance when it comes to like their nutrition program is they make poor nutrition decisions when they're like in the moment. So when you prep meals ahead of time, um, you don't have to like make any decisions when it comes to mealtime or when you get to that like hangry point or when all hell breaks loose, your day doesn't go the way it was planned, you're an hour behind and it gets to the point where like I need to eat now or I'm going to lose it, right? So this way the work's like already done and all you have to do is eat, right? So meal prepping not only saves you time, but it saves you money. It does help you reduce waste with a little bit of planning. It gives you total control over what goes in your food, leading you to more nutritious meal choices in the long run. So again, I know it can feel and look intimidating when you're getting started. Same thing, I felt the same way, which is kind of why I wanted to come on and train about this today. And I also want to give you a little bit of a guide that goes with this training, so that it can just kind of help take some of the work and the headache and the stress out of it and simplifying this a little bit more for you. Um, so one of the biggest takeaways I want you to walk away with that I have learned through this process is you don't have to prep all of your meals for the week or like 30 meals in one go. The key is really to start off simple and identify what works for you. So like, and really like focusing on like what meal needs the most attention. Like, where do I feel like I make the not so good choices in the moment? Is it at breakfast? Is it at lunch? Is it at dinner? Like, which one do I need to focus on first, right? So we're not like trying to meal prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner all week, all the meals. Okay. We want to focus on one meal to start with if you are brand new to this and work from there. Okay. So the things we're going to go over today is like what you need to get started, kind of your steps, like whether it's a meal plan, your grocery shopping, your meal prep strategies, some just tips and hacks. And like I said, I'm going to send you guys a guide that's going to give you some ideas for some meals if you need a few more. So some quick tips that are really key here is to just determine how many meals you need, okay? Um, so this is like, again, back to like, if we're just focused on breakfast, let's just make this an example, okay? That like, do we have to have something different for 7 days of the week, like some like different breakfast every time? Or are there a couple days in a row that we could eat the same thing? So let's even say like 2, maybe 3 days that we eat a meal on repeat and then we change it up before it starts to get like boring, right? Or like we start getting sick of it and never want to eat it again, right? We don't want to get to that point. Um, so let's first, I guess, talk about like, what do you need? So I want to give you a list of things that make this a lot easier. So glass food containers, making sure that they're microwave safe so that they're easy to reheat, or something that you can easily warm up in the oven if you'd like. You want to make sure that you have all the ingredients that you need. Storage space in your fridge or in your freezer, a slow cooker or an Instapot, a microwave and a kitchen scale can be really, really helpful, especially if we are tracking our macros and being a little bit more diligent with portion sizes as well. So making a meal plan. So before you start like even deciding on your menu, a good thing to determine is your budget for your meals for the week, or um, your menu planning can get a little out of hand, or it can get a little complicated. So once you've set this, you can kind of curate that menu accordingly, and it helps to write out like the full week's worth of meals and snacks. Again, like I said, I would focus on one meal at a time as you get used to doing this. And not necessarily, snacks included if you want to, but just focus on one meal. But also consider like how that can be divvied out. Like, okay, if we make this meal for dinner, can this be a leftover for lunch the next day, or dinner for the next day? Like, consider how those leftovers can be used, or how the staple ingredients that you're prepping can be used throughout the week. So I like to mix and match my ingredients to get the most out of my spending. So as I plan my menu, I look for more versatile ingredients that work in like multiple different recipes, multiple different dishes. And making sure that you like take inventory of all the ingredients before you hit the store. Like, what do you have already in the pantry and in the fridge? So again, we're kind of decreasing some of that food waste, and not like buying double of something that you already have, right? So just make sure you check your stock of all your stuff in your fridge and in your pantry, if you do need to restock. And so after you kind of get like the recipes that you want to make for the week, you're going to make a list of all those ingredients that you need ahead of time to go to the grocery store. I find that if I don't go with a list, I either one, forget the things I need, or two, don't buy something that I already had, right? So the list is my key to not overspending or over shopping, and making sure that I get what I intended to get. Sundays or Saturdays tend to be the best days to shop if you don't want to deal with crowds. Early in the morning when they're kind of stocking everything. I tend to go about 8:30 in the morning on Saturday. That's my shopping day. But just feel free to find like what works for you. But it's about, again, just making this simple and fitting in with your lifestyle. But again, back to the list. So break down your list by food categories, preferably starting with the foods that like you encounter first at the grocery store. So remember to shop for whole foods like meat, eggs, and vegetables. A good rule of thumb is to try to shop the perimeter of the grocery store, because that's where the butcher, the produce sections are usually at, right? The stuff that's in the center is a lot of our like processed foods, snacky stuff, which is not inherently bad, but again, like our whole food focus, perimeter of the grocery store when we're shopping. And so let's talk about like some meal prep strategies. So again, you want to adapt these to make sure that they fit with you and your lifestyle and your dietary needs as well. Whatever works best for you. So there is like the buffet style meal prep. So the idea of this strategy is your fridge functions like a restaurant buffet. You prepare a variety of unseasoned, staple, healthy, single ingredient foods ahead of time, store them in individual containers, and then when it's mealtime, you grab a little bit of everything you stored. Not only is like buffet style meal prep like a huge time saver over preparing like separate individual meals, but it also works great for feeding a family with a variety of eating requirements or just preferences, tastes, right? This is the way I personally like to prep. I'm more of an ingredient prepper than a meal prepper for a couple different reasons. But what I prepped to eat on Monday that I'm planning, like if I prep something to eat Wednesday and Wednesday comes and I'm like, that doesn't even sound good. I don't want to eat that. Then I'm stuck eating it, whether I want to eat it or not. So food doesn't waste, right? So I found like doing it this way, like buffet style or like ingredient style. This way I can kind of mix and match what I'm in the mood for. Like whether, like a wrap or a bowl, or do I want something hot? Do I want something cold? Like I can kind of get almost creative too in just like what I'm feeling for the moment when I have things like ready and prepped. So like I had shared something yesterday on the food prep in our Facebook group about this, that like cooking like 2 whole chickens, like having a couple things of protein like cooked. So chicken and ground beef or ground turkey, and seasoning half of that ground turkey like Italian style and half of it like taco seasoning, so that I have like 3 different proteins that I can mix and match into a wrap, into a bowl, and whatever concoction that I'm looking to add. And then I have all of like my fruits and vegetables already washed and cut and ready to grab and put together. So it's basically kind of like, what's the pizza place called, that you can like go make your own pizza? Like it's kind of like that like just take the ingredients that I want and make a meal, but it's already ready to go. And so having beans, quinoa, rice, the proteins like pre-cooked, then I can just put it all together. It saves a lot of time and a lot of energy, a lot of thinking, right? I don't know if dinner time, like the whole what's for dinner thing, is like the worst question in the world for you. Give me a hands up in the comments, because yeah, I hate that question. So another strategy would be like batch cooking and portioning. So basically you prepare or cook larger portions of your favorite meals, and then you portion them out into individual containers, like those glass containers we were just talking about. And so typically this is done like on the weekend, so you can kind of prepare for the week ahead. Great for grab and go. And again, like if you make a big batch of something like turkey chili, and you portion it out to where you have 2 servings, 2 to 3 servings for the week, and then freeze the rest, right? So then you're set up for next week. The other tip is assemble ingredients, but don't cook. Again, like having it all together and ready to go, like in the slow cooker or in the Instapot. So this could again be like one of those freezer meals, like that turkey chili that's in the freezer. It's already put together. All I got to do is dump it and leave it, right? Like good to go. And I love the slow cooker because like set it and forget it, right? Like it's ready when you get home after a busy day. And you just know like dinner's ready when I get home. Another strategy is pre-cooked delivered meals. So if you're a woman who just does not want to or doesn't have the time to cook and is like all about convenience, and believe me, I get it, I recommend looking into a meal delivery service in your area. There's plenty of options these days. Just pop your search into Google. There is an incredible one here in Twin Falls. Let me see if I can pull that up really quick, because I'm drawing a blank on what their business is called. It's MEP Meals in Twin Falls. They have amazing variety, super affordable. So if you're in the Twin Falls area, I highly recommend them and look into their services. For those of you that are tuning in from elsewhere, again, just a quick little Google search and you'll be able to pull up one in your area. But even just ordering just a couple meals to supplement your other prepping, it just cuts down on some time, right? Like you don't, again, have to order all of your meals, but what if you know that like Tuesdays and Thursdays are crazy, I'm running the kids from this sports event to that sports event, like that delivery service can kind of just like cut down in all the other prepping for the rest of the time, that you already know like that meal and that meal are covered and good to go. So some other things to note is to really invest in some high quality food containers and utensils. Glass containers, mason jars, not only are they going to help keep your food fresh longer, but then you don't have like leaching of plastic into your food when you reheat it, that kind of stuff. Look for items that are on sale, and try to stock up on those non-perishables when they are on sale, because you can stock in rice, quinoa, those type of things. Try to visit your local farmer or your farmer's market. You're going to get the best produce, the best grass-fed beef from local farmers. Another tip is to buy in bulk when you can, because these items are often cheaper per pound, and you can freeze the items to use as needed. I guess another staple item, like in the kitchen, that I would say that you should have is one of the vacuum seal machine things, like the bags, right? That you can actually like suck all the air out and vacuum seal it, so that when you do freeze it, it doesn't get freezer burn. That would be something else I would add equipment wise. I use mine all the time because we do buy our meat in bulk when it's on sale, because again, it's cheaper. And then I spend, 10, 15 minutes cutting it up, divvying it out into the portion sizes that we need when we go to thaw it out. And I vacuum seal all those bags. So just don't let preparing meals feel like a chore. Make it fun, like get your family involved, make it a thing. Maybe even have like a cooking playlist and dance around in the kitchen, or a podcast while you're, washing and chopping and cooking. Like, don't make this be something that you have to that you dread, right? That just makes it no fun. So that's basically my tips and tricks for meal prep. I do have a really great guide that I'm gonna drop below this video to give you some recipe ideas focused on like high protein, and even if you're not on a weight loss journey, these are just meant to be like nutrient dense meals that are going to give you the energy to kind of go through the day. I'm also going to drop the link for the MEP meals if you are local to Twin Falls. They are incredible and a great family-owned business. So yeah, I would love to hear any questions, concerns, cuss words about this. Like, what do you struggle with the most? What do you need help with? Do you need some more meal prep ideas? I'm here for all your questions. So I hope you guys found this valuable, and I'm looking forward to a great week. How about you? Let's make it an awesome one. And please reach out if you need some additional support.